So good morning. I wanted to go over last night's stream. I streamed it, but I wanted to go over it again. So what we're gonna do is I played a replay of an ace match with an A7. Um, there was a lot of ranting in it. I want to do it again with less of the rants. Now the thing is, because I've closed out that particular match, you don't see the end results. But I do have screenshots here. So let me open up Steam. And see if I can find it. Could have sworn I had, oh, maybe I didn't upload it yet. I don't believe I uploaded it. So we'll upload it now. Or hopefully those are in the batch. If not, we'll just go by this screen. And if my mic is acting all buggy, I think there's something wrong with my headset. Either that, or I think there was also an update of the G-Hub software, and things may be acting buggy. I'm not sure what's going on. I guess we'll figure it out over the next couple of days here. So we're gonna try and find these results real quick. And where am I? Okay, this is the game. So I'm hoping this is showing. I think it's showing in the stream. So we got 5 air kills flying the A7M1. That is a premium plane. We are on premium time. We did win the match. The premium bonuses are rather high for this plane. So with 5 kills and 1 ground kill, we got 33,062 RP and 142,912 silver lions. We were also running a 15% RP booster as well. So we got Terror of the Sky. We got anti-mech with 1. So there was only one other guy who got a ground target kill. He was the other guy in the A7M1. Because I got the high score, I get the medal. Survivor, final blow, and we got a double strike in there where we took out a B-17 and a P-51 in quick succession. So there is that. Where is so there's the raw score. If it weren't, we didn't do too hot kill wise. In fact, they didn't do too hot either. They only had 1, 2, 3 people get on the scoreboard. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 people. I'm the only one on my team that got multi kills, and there was only one other that got multi kills on the other team. Yeah, kind of sort of a sad matchup, and the fact that it was Wake Island as well, and it helped a little bit that there weren't many, I guess, planes between both teams. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we need to kind of highlight here. Huh. That's pretty much it. These are the planes I killed. B-17, P-51D, B-25, which caught me on fire. I had to land. Um, what is that? F-82, and then an F-82. So we'll go back to these results. So we were, let's say, active 97% of the time. So we did take that damage when we got caught fire by the B-25, but we were able to put the fire out by turning off the engine. And we were right above our carriers, and so I had to make a carrier landing, which I'm usually bad at. But the A7 is just like a A6. It flies like a big A6. I missed the wire on the first attempt. I circled around and I caught it on the second attempt. But yeah, so there you go. Now we're gonna go ahead and do the replay, and I will more than likely just keep quiet. I do not currently hear the microphone glitching out, so that's good. What I did do is I noticed surround sound was disabled on my headset, so I enabled it. So we're gonna go at double speed here for now while we merge. The idea was for me to side climb this way, but then I saw that we might run into planes because we're on this, I guess we're on the same side of the map, I guess our spawn points. So I decided to change up and head this way. But what ended up happening was that the enemy team were trying to stop this group, and so we ended up merging with them. So I'm the only one heading over here. This guy, he's in a bomber, I think a PBY, and he's also, I think he's AFK. Yeah, there he is. P1Y1, not a PBY. And there's all the dots. Their whole team is over here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And looks like they devastated the first group of bots. In last night's replay session, the markers weren't rendering in the game, and I don't know what the hell was going on there. And it looks like it's not rendering here either. So something changed in the replay system here that I'm not sure what's going on. So the first thing we do is we go out to this B-17. We actually crit him. We take off his, looks like, elevators. He's still alive and someone's still gunning for him. Next we're gonna go for that, there's a P-51 behind us. I think right there. That small dot down low. Were we granted that kill yet? Nope. There he is. There's a B-25 as well. So we just got credit for that kill. B-25 is down here, so I don't know who that was behind us. It might have been an F-82. Those have a big profile. and we have a bunch of enemy bot planes making runs on our ships here. So we're gonna go for this this B-25 here. Got a teammate on him as well. My mistake here was lingering too much behind this guy. But we did break off his hotel section. Okay, we turned off the engine. Then when we did, somehow the tail hook dropped. I did not turn on the, I did not enable the gear. So I don't know what was happening there. We put out the fire, and I actually chatted it in the chat. I kind of laughed and said, the fire's out. So no kill for you. But I am hurting. Engine's overheating. I still have plenty of fuel though. Usually when your engine's overheating, you probably want to, if you have a mech enabled, you can open up the radiators to help cool things down, but make sure that you don't have prop pitch at 100%. You probably want that down a bit, because 100% is working the engine pretty good, and if the engine's already heating, it's gonna make it worse. So might be best to put it on a disabled mech. So we're gonna miss the wire here. We were a little bit too fast, and as you can see, the wire tried to connect that on the last wire. I don't know if that was a glitch or what, but or the fact that maybe I pulled up. I wasn't gonna wait any longer. You can speed this up here. We don't need to watch all this. We are gonna land. Sloppy landing as it is. I hate playing replays. So there's some activity over here. I think there's a 0 there. There's a zero there. That's one of our teams chasing an F-82. We have an F-82 and a P-51 over there. So they have I think three left. 3 team members. Yep. And I think we have 4 currently. Yep. So you can see all the dots over here. So there's 2 of us over here. I haven't merged yet, and then there's one over to my high left. And I do believe we just lost a plane. That's F-82 there. I'm trying to get above him and make some boom and zoom runs on him. I'm not sure if he's headed this way. I think he was. And then at the last minute he changes and goes down here because he sees my teammate making a run on someone on the airfield. Which my teammate pays the price for. There he is right there. You see his dot. You can see the AAA going off on him. He's making a run on that guy that's right there. And he does end up killing him. And on the way out, he takes out an AA. There's the F-82. He's coming in pretty hot. This guy's in trouble because I do believe he took damage. You're gonna see him smoking in a second. Wonder if it's gonna show. It was showing it in game. Might not show it in the replay. So now he's he's gonna have to fight off this F-82 with engine damage. There you go. So he took it over here. He was almost away. So I'm trying to hurry up. I've got a lot of speed here, but the danger is that this thing compresses very... it compresses at this speed. And as you can see, he's actually out turning me. And I almost didn't pull out of this. He finishes off my teammate. And now he's dragging me back to the base defenses. And I'm aware of that, but I want to kill. Otherwise, he'll boom and zoom me to death. Can't outrun him either. He's pretty fast. He's doing a good job here of ducking me. AAA is cracking all around me. I end up damaging him. But I need to finish him off. I'm wasting a lot of ammo here, but it's because he's juking everywhere. He is dead. That's my 4th kill. And so now I have to... Look at all of this. And I do believe that was a hit. I don't see any damage though. Look at all of that. I have no idea how I came out of this with no damage. I was just juking. I wasn't even looking behind me when I was juking. So now there's only 2 of my team left, and this guy is in an F-82. We were pissed off at him because so he killed my teammate. I don't know how this was, probably because they were so high, and he ended up booming, having better performance over the 0 at that high of an altitude, and he probably just boomed and zoomed him. But I guess the problem is that he dragged this guy all the way across the map. They ended up over here, so he's a runner, right? And so my worry is that, okay, I know that he's over here somewhere, and so I'm trying to climb, and we were at water level at one point, so we had to make up all that, and we know that he's up high. Thought I saw his dot somewhere over here. So there he is right there, somewhere off to right front, probably in the clouds. So he's already being chased again, and so he's going to end up going all the way to the end of the map and then traversing the other side of the map. And I already know this because of what he did the same thing just recently, within this match. So I'm like, shit. And my teammate is in an N1 K1. Yep. So he's gonna walk away from that M1. The guy in the American plane is. So I'm trying to position myself to where I could intercept. I don't want to go straight at him, so I'm kind of going off to the side, thinking that if I go to the side like this and they spawn back in, maybe I'll be at a relatively similar height or altitude, so that I could get guns on him. But they're still climbing. I think I'm at 2,500 meters. I asked my teammate what altitude he was at, and I think he said 45. So I have a ways to go, and they're already starting to hit the edge of the map, so they're going to be able to come back. And so I end up not being in the right position before the merge. It wasn't optimal. And of course he extends out, and then I start kind of barraging him with all chat, telling him that he has the energy advantage and that there's no need for him to kind of be running from one end of the map to the next. Of course, I wasn't just going to leave him alone either. One, I wanted my ace, and two, when you play these type games, you get kills and sometimes you die. But I looked at this guy's. Let's slow it down while we look at his stats real quick. This is what I always do during game, and I'm looking and I'm like, well, okay, he looks like he's relatively new to RB. He's new to both playstyles, both arcade and realistic. But he's definitely not upside down in his planes. But that could be just from him running. I mean, so the good thing is that if you're a patient flyer, you can pick and choose when you want to attack, when you want to, defend it, things like that, right? But doesn't help your kill count any. And for matches like this, I mean, this was 10 to 15 minutes of just chasing someone from one end to the map to the next, when he didn't need to run away. He had enough distance to where he probably could have out-climbed this guy and started booming and zooming in on him, and I was so far away that he could have boomed and zoomed my teammate and then extended and boomed and zoomed me as well. And then, I mean, he could have just boomed and zoomed like this, but instead he goes one end to the map to the next. So I'm turning left here because it looked like he was trying to force a head on, and I'm not gonna play head on with that plane. So I'm turning around, forcing. If he's gonna come this way, by all means, that just brings me into the fold quicker, and he'll have a two-on-one battle. So he breaks off. They are behind me. There they are. He starts going straight again, and I'm trying to claw up. I'm at 4,400 meters now. I think he's probably at 5. But if you notice, I am slow, and he probably is not. So this is not an optimal way to merge, but I had no choice. It's either get a similar speed but not be as high as he is, or sacrifice some of that speed to get as high as he is but not be as fast. So either way, he's gonna get away. But we are closer. Look, what I should be doing is going this way, but I'm flying toward the dot. You want to try and intercept. The best way to intercept is that go where you think he's gonna be, not where he's at. So I believe this is when I start. Do I start chatting yet? I'll start chatting in a second. Because I notice, okay, well, now he's got 2 guys on his tail, and he's faster, so he's going to run away, but there's really no need. He's pretty, there's some distance between him and my teammate and him and myself. If it were me, I would have looked at. I'm the closer of the 2 now, but I am slower anyways. But I would have probably started flying this way to get more distance, and he's already higher than me by probably 1,500 meters or so, and he could have just looped over and started, and picked which one he wanted to make a run against. So my teammate has 1 kill and 2 assists. This guy has 1 kill. Not sure what this guy was flying. We can find out though. Oh, he was the guy in the F-82. Yeah. So he's pulling He's walking away from this guy even more. Okay. So I'm at 5,100 meters. He looks to be maybe at 6,000, 5,500. So this guy's gonna go over his defenses and probably go as far as here before he turns around. I think he forcibly turns, well, he turns around on his own. He's not made to by the game. Looks like he actually banked. If he was gonna do that, he probably would have just hit, you know, if it were me, I guess if I was already extending, I wouldn't normally play that way, not unless maybe I was, you know, it was a 5-on-1 and I have 5 dots chasing me. If it were me, in order to preserve speed, I would not have turned back. I would have made myself hit the wall, and the game would have respawned me in, and I wouldn't have lost any speed in doing it. But he probably wouldn't have lost any speed if he would have flipped over, you know, did like a split S and come down. He would have just gained speed. They're terrific divers, but you can intercept them. Okay, he's doing something here. Okay, I thought it was, because his smoke disappeared. I thought he was gonna loop back down, but where's he at now? Okay, there he is. He's gonna wait until he's past the island. And I guess his idea is if he's gonna have to fight us, because this could have taken all match. You know, we weren't losing any tickets at this point. I guess his thought was to bring us down and let the AA finish us. Which is, again, something he didn't have to do. But I guess my fault in all this is thinking that everyone's going to play it like I do. Plus, he's a lower level guy. Level 53 or something like that. Yep. And so he probably has to gain experience. He's probably a decent flyer, you know, just looking at the fact that he's not upside down in his planes. But there you go. So 33 kills, 15 deaths, 15 battles. That's pretty damn good. It's better than me. So now my teammate has surpassed me. Where is the enemy? We don't know. Oops. Okay, there he is. So he is there, but he is no longer showing on the map, on the radar. And we're right above the base now. He should start doubling back. There's our teammate, and he's still ahead of our teammates. He's somewhere over here, I believe. And we're slow as hell. This is something that I have to continue to break myself from doing. It's climbing well. I mean, it's climbing okay, but that's not the optimal speed that I should be having this plane. And look, I'm just dropping in speed here. I'm not even paying attention. I'm just clawing my way up there, trying to get as much height as possible. Now we're at almost 7,000 meters, and this guy is still going. Okay, now I'm leveling off a bit. So we're at roughly the same height. He looks like he's turning. He's coming back. He's decided to turn around, but he's not only going to turn, he's going to start diving. Okay, now he's coming. Kind of floated there or something for a second. And if you notice, I've been over to the right. So I'm not going straight at him because I would then have to split S, and I know this thing is compresses at speed. So I went to the right to kind of do this. You know, if I'm going to split S, I'm going to do it from the side and come down. And here we go. I lost. Okay, is that him? No, he's already down. It's not showing in the his dot. There he is. So you notice I'm not flying toward the dot. I'm flying as to where I want to be. I want to try and trap him. So I'm kind of trying to lead him, right? And so now I know I have enough speed. We're getting close here. And he starts juking. And we're going really fast. I don't know what the rip speed is on this plane. We get into the 800 kph. $802, 805, 810, 813, 818, and I'm out of the throttle right now. 832, and now we're starting to slow down because I've got mech on and I've got prop pitch. So prop pitch is slowing me down. I think I've got prop pitch set to 90, and at this point I want to slow down, but I don't think I'm at zero throttle yet. I'm near it, and now I go back wide open throttle, trying to get close enough to get guns on him. And I don't have a lot of cannon left. 730. Remember, this is still this is a high compression speed for this plane. So look at us. So I'm having to slow down, and now we're taking damage. We're smoking a little bit. We're still at 670, so speed is slow to bleed. We're taking our time here because we know eventually we get slow enough to where we can start outmaneuvering him. Right now it's just the high compression is killing us. He's doing better than we are at this point, only because we're getting stiff. So now we're starting to slow down and we're getting the better of him. I still haven't used flaps yet. And at this point, it looks like he's trying to force an overshoot here. I take a shot. Oh, I thought I did. And now we almost end up in his guns. We pull up, and I think I popped flaps here. He's taking even more damage. Yep, flaps are enabled. Teammates getting involved. Disengage flaps. Cause a fire. Need to finish him off because he could land. Okay. Good. So there's a 5th kill. We haven't lost our engine yet, but our whole plane is yellow. So I decide, since I'm down here, take one out. Spit on your grave. I think that's our teammate. He's taking damage, but the match is gonna end in a second. All I have to do is just last. Cut. He pops his pink and black smoke. Tickets are going down. Now, if we weren't persistent, we would have lost that match. And there we go. Okay, so this was a much better stream than last night's session where I ended up spending an hour talking about this guy. Well, a half an hour. It was a full hour-long stream for a 27-minute battle. So yeah, um, that's my first ace in the A7M1. But I knew it was coming because the last few matches I've flown in it, I'd gotten 4 kills, so I know that it had the potential based on how I was flying it. So it's a good plane, and I don't think I've recently lost any A7M1s, but I don't know why, because typically with Japanese planes, you catch fire and you can't put it out. The last 2 times I caught fire in that plane, I was actually able to put the fire out. And I use it, I use the same steps as with flying like American and Russian and all the other planes. When I catch fire, I turn off the engine and I go to 0 throttle. And if I'm not fast, I usually start diving. Hopefully, the flame will blow out due to the wind. And usually with my experience in Japanese planes, they don't put the fire out. But early Japanese planes didn't have self-sealing fuel tanks. This one does, but in my experience, it doesn't. Self-sealing fuel tanks don't really matter for Japanese planes. I don't know if their self-sealing technology is not on par with the rest of the world's planes, realistically. And with War Thunder, no, it's not. They're not really. No, this game isn't really considered a sim. Not on the level of IO2, right? Um, but that being said, the developers do try and make some effort to model some things semi-realistically, right? So when they model these planes, they model it based off of uh, existing uh, build and test records from that era. So um, it's well known that most Japanese planes aren't really robust when compared to, I guess, other country counterparts. No, uh, it's definitely no P-47. It might, out of all the planes, it probably flies more like a P-47. But when you catch it on fire, there is something. When it gets caught on fire, there's something to worry about, in my opinion. So, but luckily um, we have not lost a plane recently to a fire. But if I look at there it is. If I look at the A6M1 here in our stats, or A7M1, I keep calling it Ace. 64 kills, five deaths. Um, yeah, that's a 12. That's over 12 point, 12 to 1 kill death ratio. Um, and 36 battles. So that shows that I'm flying the plane very well. So I've only lost 5 planes in 36 battles. Yet I've gotten oh, that's ground targets, 58. So right under 12.1. KDR wise. So and looking at the earnings here, shit, it's doing pretty good. Look at this one. This is the E7 here. It's got we're roughly at the same earnings for both RP and Silver Lions, but we've only flown it out once. I think we've had better games. Well, the rewards are roughly the same. This one's a little bit higher, probably only because it's a higher ranking plane. Roughly the same KDR. So why is it earning? It's almost the same amount. That's crazy. It's probably because I'm doing more killing. Not per game, probably. I know I've gotten 2 aces in this plane, and I think in one game I did a shitload of like ground and pound, something like almost 50 ground kills. Okay. So yeah, I mean, if you want to buy a Japanese premium, I suggest this plane. This one is good as well, but since we're already, the video is based on, my flyouts in the A7M1. Yeah, I highly recommend this one. Um, this one is probably going to be the cheaper of the two. Um, and I was going to check to compare, but I've already bought them, so they're not going to show how much they cost. So where is Japan? There you go. Yeah, so it doesn't show how much I spent on it. But of the two, I do recommend the A7M1. You just have to remember that it has high compressibility at top end, so you have to account for that. You can energy fight in it, um, but it doesn't roll well, and everything about it seems high effort. So you're not, someone, if you're dogfighting a plane that has better roll, you're gonna have trouble. If they start rolling and they're near the deck, and you're carrying a lot of speed, you have the potential to actually crash into the ground. I have crashed this plane several times because I couldn't pull out. And those times where I didn't, I was at such a disadvantage that someone ended up getting behind me because I was too busy trying to pull out of a dive and not hit the ground. Meanwhile, I'm doing that, and meanwhile, they get behind me and start shooting me. You know, so you have to make sure that if you're gonna boom and zoom, folks, you probably do it in short booms, or do it when you're not close to the ground. Um, it's got good stall, and if you have to, you could turn with spits. Um, of the two A7s, this one, look at the turn time on this, 15 seconds compared to the A7M2, which is zero point 0.3 BR higher. They got the same guns, so this one's got a better rate of climb that the M2 does, but this one has a way better turn time. So you can mix it in. You could definitely mix it in with spits in this plane. Again, you just have to be wary. You might want to try an energy fight more than turn fight, because you're not going to turn fight very well when you're compressed. So if you're going to turn fight, you make sure you stay kind of semi-slow. Don't hit 600 kph because you're going to start having issues. Guns are pretty good. They're difficult to get used to, in my opinion, because the cannon shells are low velocity. So if you're gonna shoot, you need to make, you probably want to be close. Um, and I did have to take a reload during that last match, but I took a reload because I was already landed because I was damaged, right? Um, so I think that really I probably would have been able to, I might have been able to get 4 kills without a reload. 5 might have been stretching it because I was wasting a bit toward the end, those last 2 guys. So yeah, it's a good plane. I don't even think it's really all that expensive. Um, Repair costs are not that high. So if you're looking to rack up SL, but you're worried about, okay, well, what if I die? Is there a high repair cost? No. Um, but I mean, really, as long as you try to keep the dying down to a minimum, you're gonna be in the plus anyways. But if you're dying all the time and not really getting any kills to kind of balance out repair costs, then you're always gonna be, in the negative. So you wanna make sure you're getting some kills, whether it's ground kills or air kills or whatever, right? Um, but no, I mean the repair costs aren't insanely high um, with this particular plane. Uh, so it does good at height as well. Um, so you see it's fast at its fastest. It's 617 kph here at 6,900 meters. So this plane does better at high altitude than this plane does. But the max altitude's 11,000 meters. So um, yeah, again, they're great planes. All right, we're done here, and we might play some more later on. All right, bye bye.